So I feel संजीव बिखचंदानी जिसने बहुत सही चीज़ करी
जी,
he got the pulse of India.
करेक्ट,
इंडिया में पढ़ाई बहुत ज़रूरी है, नौकरी
Correct.
बहुत ज़रूरी है
Correct.
और फिर शादी बहुत ज़रूरी है.
करेक्ट.
तीनों प्लेटफॉर्म पे खेल गए.
Look, it was not a planned strategy. It's not as if हमने सोच समझ के किया है. It was by chance.
One thing that I'm curious about that I wanted to talk about is a recent tweet from Deepinder.
I guess when I meet him next, I'll ask him.
Blinkit acquisition, what must have been
When blinkit acquisition, there was a big thing. And I said, देखो, आपका main business is delivery. उस पे loss आ रहा है. You want to buy this company. Are you sure you want to do this? So we asked those very serious questions.
सबसे लो कब फील हुआ?
बहुत बार यार, मतलब क्विट करने का मन तो हर 2-3 हफ्ते में करता है.
Like, has it happened कि कभी वो आए हो आपके पास and you would have motivated?
No, I think हर एक founder की journey में there will be pushback, setbacks, there will be near-death moments.
People do raise money for the money as well, but of course the person who is behind that money also matters, right?
While you can suggest an advice, the truth is nobody becomes an entrepreneur because he's looking for a new boss. The worst kind of investor is an investor who is trying to live his or her unfulfilled entrepreneurial dreams through the founder.
ये repeatable profitable unit आपके हिसाब से Zomato में क्या है?
Each city is a repeatable profitable unit.
Two of the companies that you did not put your money in, one is Lenskart and the other one is Bharatpe.
So Lenskart, we met, we liked him a lot, but at that stage he was doing 3 other things.
What are 3 pieces of advice that startup needs to hear today?
So my advice to people is don't become an entrepreneur because you want to make money.
So stressful हो जाता है कभी-कभी?
हो तो जाता है, but it's okay. Over time you learn to deal with it.
Hi sir, first of all welcome. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for calling me here.
Thank you so much for calling us to your beautiful house. How are you doing today? What's on
Very
top
well,
of your
very
mind?
well. Thank you. No, I mean, I'm just busy with my work. So, various things. I've done 3-4 meetings in the morning and
Right.
I've got a few meetings after this also.
Right. I think when we were coming in, a few people were going out. Probably
Yes,
that's
yes.
whom you had a meeting with. Sir, so हमारे podcast का नाम On Point है.
ठीक
We
है.
like to just jump to the point.
Sure.
One thing that I'm curious about that I wanted to talk about is the recent tweet from Deepinder that hiring chief of staff. Are you aware about that or?
I saw the tweet. He did not discuss it with me before.
Okay.
And I have not discussed it with him after either.
Okay.
So I've just seen it on Twitter
Alright.
and on LinkedIn. And I guess when I meet him next, I'll ask him.
All right. Just for the audience, I'll just reiterate that the tweet was that there is this chief of staff role for which they're hiring, and instead of Zomato paying to the person for the first year, they said that the person has to pay 20 lakh as a commitment.
He has to donate 20 lakh to a charity.
Right, to Feeding India charity, and just to show that Zomato is not doing this to save money, they'll also donate 50 lakh rupees to the person's favorite charity, and second year onwards, of course, the salary will be given. But did you also see the follow-up tweet that he did, that this was actually just a way to filter out people and they're actually going to pay the person from day one?
Oh, that's very good. I've not seen that tweet. That's very good.
Yeah.
That's very sensible.
So that was like just a filter out, ki they never had the intention to do that.
Sure.
Yeah. So actually my question was, which you already answered, that were you aware of that? Was this discussed somehow?
No, I mean, most things are not discussed with the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, is it fair to say ki, just as an outsider, which I feel, ki these things are, if not primary, secondary, they also help with marketing in a way.
Yeah, I don't think that would be the motivation to do something like this.
All right.
So, कुछ idea होगा उसको.
वो आप बात करोगे तो पता चलेगा. Right. So, like you said, ki these things are not discussed in the.
I mean, I'm saying most small things are not discussed in the board.
Correct. Like things like this are probably.
I mean, you're hiring one person.
Got it. I understood. So that is what the next question was that I had in my mind. Ki where is the line? Like, can you give us a few examples? जैसे chief of staff का hiring हो गया. For a person like me as an outsider, it would seem like कि हाँ, it's a not a very small move because he's all over the internet.
Well, actually, if it's a way to assess interest levels and commitment,
Got it.
and eventually you're going to pay,
Right.
I think it served the purpose.
Right. Understood. And I think it did because 18,000 people applied.
Well, yeah, that's a lot. Maybe 1,80,000 applied. If that's not been there, I do not know. But at least the people who applied have passed the test of commitment
Right.
and interest.
Right. So yeah, the question was that where is the line? Like, is there an example that you can give ki a thing like this would probably be discussed? And of course, an example that we already have, a thing like, you know, doing something on the social media to gather interest for even the highest of the role is not something that is discussed. Like, what kind of things are discussed?
At the board,
Yes.
most strategic things.
Okay.
कि साहब कोई acquisition करनी है, कोई diversifying करनी है.
All right.
We definitely discuss on every board meeting what's happening with the delivery partners, you know, in terms of their compensation, their well-being.
Okay.
I think that's something the entire senior management of Zomato, you know, is focusing a lot of time and attention on. Deepinder himself delivers food every now and then to
Right.
experience the job and life of a delivery partner,
Right.
so that you can take better and more informed decisions.
Got it. Recently, something happened with the Ambience Mall as well, if I'm
That is correct. So you get to know the difficulties upfront yourself.
Got
Yeah.
it. Got it.
That's important.
And how frequently does these board meetings happen? Quarterly?
Board meetings at least a quarterly, but sometimes more often,
All right.
depending on the situation. For example, if they are doing a fundraise, which they are right now,
Okay.
there will be a board meeting required.
All right.
We did that. You know, if they are looking at an acquisition, I mean, there will be a board meeting required. We will do that.
So yeah, for example, the blinkit acquisition must have been
Well, blinkit
discussed.
acquisition, I mean, there was a big thing. I mean,
Right.
you know, there was an investment committee. It came to the investment committee. Then the investment committee kicked the tires, asked a lot of questions, got the answers, was reasonably satisfied. Only then it went to the board.
Sir, इसमें one thing that I've always thought about is कि ऐसे बड़े decisions में how much of it is like a opinion or a अंदाजा वाला चीज rather than
You look at numbers and data.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
But eventually, there's never perfect information.
got it.
Right? Let's take a look at Blinkit. Right? When it came to the investment committee, okay, there was very serious questions asked,
Okay.
which we asked. I asked.
Okay.
Right? And I said, देखो, आपका main business food delivery, उसमें loss आ रहा है. You want to buy this company for a big chunk of money and stock, and this company is also losing money.
Okay.
So your stock has got hammered in the market, okay, because at that time the stock market was down.
Okay.
Investors have expressed doubts, and shareholders expressed doubts about, look, you need to get a profit. Right? If you do this now, it will be perceived as a risky move with two large loss-making businesses,
Right.
right? Instead of one. You do have enough cash in the balance sheet, but are you sure you want to do this? So, I mean, so we asked those very serious questions, right? When we were satisfied that, okay, fine, there's a good chance, there's still a chance on these, not certain, that they can turn this around. But there's a good chance that the food delivery business will make a profit in 2 quarters anyway.
Okay. Okay.
Then we said, okay, fine, go ahead.
Okay.
But you're still not 100% certain. There's a, you know, there's an element of judgment,
All right.
okay, which and a leap of faith.
Right. Understood. So mostly, you know, is it like ki founders and the senior management comes up with ideas, then the board or you as an investor's job is to, you know, kind of
Well, not me as an investor, but yeah, as a board.
all right. It's to, you know, just do your due diligence.
Correct.
Ask right questions. Make sure that they have thought through the questions that you have in your mind. And
So look, I mean, eventually it boiled down to Deepinder's confidence and judgment, because we kept asking, how can you know, are you sure this thing will make a profit?
right.
Are you sure you can turn it around? Nobody has made a profit in e-commerce in India. Why will you be the first? So you ask those kind of questions, and then at the end of it, you're still getting answers which are not 100% based on data, because there's ultimately judgment.
Right.
And for the last bit of judgment, you sort of repose your faith in Deepinder and says he can do it. Okay, let's believe him and back him.
Got it. आई थिंक सर ये हिस्ट्री से भी थोड़ा सा बैक होता होगा कि पहले उन्होंने कुछ कॉन्फिडेंस दिया होगा बेस्ड ऑन द जजमेंट और फिर वो वैसा ही हुआ होगा जैसे उन्होंने. Got it.
I mean, Zomato had shown very serious execution chops by after 2018 when they launched food delivery. They were not the first to do food delivery. Swiggy was there before them. But within 2 or 3 years' time, they were bigger. They showed very serious execution chops. The COVID hua, lockdown hua, right? there was Zomato was in danger of going under because पैसे कम थे. But suddenly there was a turnaround. They executed well, just focused and executed well.
Okay.
So they have shown very serious execution chops in the past.
Okay.
That told us कि भाई ये हवा में बात नहीं करते.
Deliver करते हैं.
They deliver.
All right. Sir, as long as we are on the subject of Zomato and Deepinder, मेरे को एक चीज़ दिमाग में आती है that I wanted to kind of show you and ask you something. If you don't mind, I have it in my phone. So there was this clip recently where he was asked in a podcast कि lowest phases क्या आए हैं, and all that. I'll just show it to you. It's just a 15-second clip.
Sorry, क्या?
Lowest phases क्या आए हैं?
Okay, lowest phase.
And it is just a 15-second clip. So it was.
सबसे लो कब फील हुआ?
बहुत बार यार, मतलब क्विट करने का मन तो हर 2-3 हफ्ते में करता है.
अभी भी
करता है.
So yeah, the question was that कि अगर क्विट करने का मन 2-3 हफ्ते में एक बार कर ही आता है, like has it happened कि कभी वो आए हो आपके पास and you would have motivated?
No, I think he deals with it well. He deals with himself. देखो हर एक entrepreneur की लाइफ में,
Right.
हर एक फाउंडर की जर्नी में there will be pushbacks, setbacks, there will be near death moments. Right? हमारे साथ हुआ. Right? But then obviously you sort of roll up your sleeves and you get down to it, and that's what Deepinder and team have shown.
Got it. तो I think आपने कहीं ना कहीं ये बोला भी था कि one of the things that you saw in Deepinder and Pankaj when they came to you for investment is कि they looked you in the eye and said कि they're in for.
Yeah. So I asked them. I said, देखो, I hope you're not dabbling. कि साहब मैं 2 साल बाद you will come and say अच्छा अब हो गया. Now we're going to do an MBA in the US.
All right.
And they said no, we will not do it.
Right.
And they stayed true to their word.
उसके अलावा सर क्या if I have to just ask कि बहुत बार ऐसा होता है that people do raise money for the money as well, but of course the person who is behind that money also matters, right? Guidance के तौर पे या फिर just as a backbone. Are there any instances or stories that you can share where not of course to get motivation, but otherwise in a down phase to get some suggestion, to get some advice, they discussed with you?
No, we keep talking and I mean हफ्ते में 2-3 बार तो बात ही कर लेते हैं. Okay. Just minor points, major points, whatever. Okay. And that happens now. But देखो ultimately the entrepreneur is the boss. Now he's the person there who's at 24/7 making it happen. The founders, the management team. And while you can suggest advice, the truth is nobody becomes an entrepreneur because he's looking for a new boss. Right? I mean, so you will give 10 ideas, 10 suggestions, maybe they'll do 2.
Got it.
And that's fine. You got to be willing to live with that.
Got it. All right. Sir,
The worst kind of investor is an investor who is trying to live his or her unfulfilled entrepreneurial dreams through the founder.
Okay. That is like parents trying to live their unfulfilled dreams through their children.
Parents का तो हक होता है.
Okay.
Right? Investor का हक होता है लेकिन कम होता है.
All right, sir. Sir, while we're on this subject, मैं investing से start करना चाहूँगा. You of course said कि 2 अच्छे investments भी निकले हैं, which is like Zomato and Policy Bazaar, but ऐसे भी बहुत सारे हैं जो हो सकते थे अच्छे, but due to whatever reason.
Every time we go into a company,
right,
we go in because we believe in the founder, believe in the business, believe in the opportunity,
right,
and we like the team.
Yes.
Right? And we trust them. And हमने लगभग 120 investment किए होंगे.
Okay.
I don't think on issues like integrity and commitment we have gone wrong more than maybe twice or thrice out of 120.
Okay.
These are the judgment calls you make at the early stage. कि ये ईमानदार रहेगा, ये मेहनती रहेगा, will he stay with it, will he quit? Is he going to be good with people and able to build a 2,000 strong team, say 5 years out, because that may be required?
Right.
So what are his people skills like?
Right.
How will he be on corporate governance? How will he look after minority shareholders? So these are all judgment calls you're making about people who very often are in their 20s. He has never run a large team before.
Sorry, he has never
run a large team before.
Right.
10 साल बाद अगर 5 लाख की टीम होगी, can he still head it? Can he make sales calls? अभी तो product में ठीक है, but sales कर पाएगा? These are all judgment calls you're making. Very often you go wrong on circumstances. There was a flood of capital into competition. And you can only put so much money because we are not this big VC funds. We are much smaller in that sense.
Correct.
कि सब market saw recession, तो next round नहीं आया. कि the sales did not pan out the way you thought. Many things happen, right? Which you can't predict. But at the time you went in because you believed. If something goes wrong and bad, or the company doesn't work out, you still respect the entrepreneur because see, the entrepreneur risks his or her life. As an investor, you only risk money,
Right.
and you have a portfolio. The entrepreneur does not have a portfolio of lives. उसकी एक ही जिंदगी है. वो उससे लाभ पे लगाइए.
Right.
You have to respect it.
Understood. Sir, two of the companies that you did not put your money in, if you're comfortable talking about them, उनके बारे में मेरे को बात करना था. One is Lenskart and the other one is Bharatpe.
Well, so Lenskart, we met. We liked him a lot.
पीयूष की बात कर रहे हैं.
Piyush.
Right.
Okay. But at that stage, he was doing 3 or 4 things.
That stage he was doing.
3 or 4 things.
All right.
Of which Lenskart was only one.
Okay.
So we didn't go in because we said, we don't know which one will back finally and which one will work finally. वो 3-4 चीजें कर रहा था.
Okay. Okay. I think वो बताते भी हैं कि different carts उन्होंने
launch किए थे.
Right.
And we felt maybe it's too early then. Let him come to a conclusion as to what he wants to build.
Okay.
Then we look at it. But फिर वो मौका नहीं आया.
Got it.
Right? Bharatpe, we sort of looked at it. We were discussing it internally, but Sequoia did it.
Okay. All right. So maybe it was like the opportunity did came, but then did
No,
they...
we liked the opportunity, liked the company, but Sequoia did it.
All right. Got it, sir. आपने सर ये भी कहीं ना कहीं कहा है that one of the 50 things that you see is कि प्रॉफिट बन पाएगा या नहीं. आई थिंक आपने फ्लिपकार्ट के बारे में ये कहा था कि आपको
Yeah, we looked at several. See, there are many companies we have said no to,
Right.
which went on to become highly successful.
Got it.
Right? They are misses.
Yes.
And we are unable to get away from our focus on revenue, cash flow, and profits. Okay? That's how we are. That's who we are. That's our DNA.
Right.
And that's how we built InfoEdge. तो जैसे हमने InfoEdge को build किया वैसे ही हम देखते हैं कि साहब बिजनेस कंपनी follow similar principles. ये पैसा बन सकता है नहीं बन सकता. Now in the case of Ola, Flipkart and a couple of other Snapdeal, we were unable to see how they could make money and when. Money means profit, right? शायद हम में कमी हो, right? But I do know that if we had invested, we would have made a lot of money because they went on to become highly successful and valuable. Those are misses, you miss. But I look at it slightly philosophically. देखिए, it doesn't matter what you said no to. What matters is have the ones you said yes to, are those doing well or not?
Got it.
And if those are doing well, you'll be all right.
I understand, sir. That is exactly what my question was. कि जो नो हुए वो तो चलो हुए, लेकिन अगर Zomato की बात करें या फिर पॉलिसी बाजार की बात करें, whichever case you wanna pick up, इनमें what was the thought process then कि this is the path to profitability?
टीम अच्छी है, product useful है.
Got it.
We can see how they can make money.
सर वो प्रॉफिट के बारे में मैं आपसे पूछना चाह रहा था कि व्हाट वाज द थॉट प्रोसेस देयर कि इस तरीके से
देखिए,
होपफुली
Zomato then was called Foodie Bay.
Right.
It was a restaurant listings business.
Got it. Correct.
We were in the listing space with Naukri and Jeevansathi 99 acres.
Yeah.
So listings. So we are comfortable with listings.
Okay.
So we know how to make money in listings. ये पैसे बना लेंगे.
Okay.
Now, of course, the company morphed. It became delivery, right? But that's later. जब हमने पहले इन्वेस्ट किया था, they were listings business. PolicyBazaar we felt was a very strong value proposition of insurance comparison. There's huge variation in the prices of insurance for the same policy across companies, and we said in such a situation, a company that's offering price comparison will get a lot of traffic, and then it'll be able to sell insurance and earn a commission.
Okay.
That's what we felt.
Okay. Got it.
So the revenue model was reasonably clear.
Okay. सेल इंश्योरेंस ऑन कमीशन यानी कि जो कंपनीज हैं उनसे कमीशन देंगे जो भी इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज हैं.
That's what we thought then.
Okay. All right. Got it. fast forward to now, अगर अभी की बात करें, and again one other thing that I heard you saying is कि नौकरी के केस में you were saying कि you got this hit कि आपने कुछ sales के लोगों को लगाया, उसके अंदर you noticed कि उनका जो cost आ रहा है इंक्लूडिंग सैलरी, इक्विपमेंट एंड अदर थिंग्स, वो 22,000 रुपये के आसपास आ रहा है. द रेवेन्यू दैट दे आर गिविंग बैक इज 50,000 रुपीज़, तो 28,000 रुपये वहाँ बच रहा है.
₹50,000 हेडेड नॉर्थ, हर महीने इंक्रीज हो रहा था.
ओके ओके,
जब
तो उतना एक्स्ट्रा,
हाँ, 28,000 रुपये का प्रॉफिट आ रहा है पर सेल्स पर्सन, एंड ये ऊपर जा रहा है प्रॉफिट. Okay, we said this is fantastic. Keep on adding more and more salespeople, and we had found what we call our repeatable profitable unit.
करेक्ट. सो यही मेरा क्वेश्चन था सर कि ये रिपीटेबल प्रॉफिटेबल यूनिट आपके हिसाब से जोमेटो में क्या है?
It's
दैट वन इनसाइट.
no, देखिए Zomato में तो the business kept evolving, right? So when we first went in there, they were earning ad revenue from the restaurants and maybe allied services, credit cards and so on. We figured that each city is a repeatable profitable unit. तो आपने मान लो एक शहर में सारे रेस्टोरेंट डाल दिए along with menu cards, ट्रैफिक आने लग गया, right? You will get advertising from those restaurants.
Got it.
And you can make a profit
Right.
on the local costs. And if you do 30 cities, 40 cities, 50 cities all over India, then you can make a profit as a company.
Okay.
So we felt that model was possible.
All right.
Now, of course, Zomato is in.
And today, if I talk about today,
Today, of course, is food delivery, which is a big one.
okay, got it. All right, sir. So talking about repeatable profit units from Naukri, if you don't mind, can we like go back a little from to your early days? I would like to start from the time where you were in IIM Ahmedabad. I think 87 में you started, if I'm not wrong.
Correct.
Like I want to just understand the 2 years that you spent in the college or around that time. Like, what was your first entrepreneurial gig? What is it that kind of pushed you कि यार मेरे को तो धंधा बनाना है?
Well, I've been wanting to be an entrepreneur since I was 12 years old.
Okay.
So it's not that I'm Ahmedabad.
All right.
From before.
Okay.
Of course, I'm from a middle class family. My father was a government servant, a doctor in the government. My mom was a homemaker. There was nobody in the entire family, extended family, in business. So we were not a business family. And I had worked for 5 years before I became an entrepreneur. So I was used to the salary check, and I was dependent on it. And there was no way I was going to be, comfortable not getting a salary. So therefore, it took me a long time to sort of muster up the courage to quit. Right? But the first product we did was a salary survey. Salary survey of what companies are paying fresh and maize on IIM campuses. And I had observed the kind of competition among companies to attract the best talent at IIM campus. And I felt that if you do a salary survey, companies will buy it. मैंने खुद देखा था कि कैसे compete करते हैं. And that's why I felt if you do a salary survey, it will be okay.
Okay. So it was like maybe a proper entrepreneurial venture that you did. उससे पहले कुछ छोटा मोटा लाइक बचपन में कभी
वो नहीं किया.
तो दिस वाज द फर्स्ट वन कि सैलरी सर्वेज आप आई थिंक सेल करते थे टू द कंपनीज एट द व्हाटएवर द राइट प्राइस वाज. गॉट इट. सर फिर उसके बाद आपने कुछ टाइम के लिए जॉब भी किया इन अ कंपनी कॉल्ड HMM, राइट?
No, after MBA. Before salary survey. Salary survey was when I quit my job.
All right. That was after. Okay, I thought कि it was while you were in IIM, but it was after quitting only. All right. सर फिर आई थिंक यू डिड से कि जब आपने क्विट किया, जैसा कि आप बोल रहे हो कि सैलरी को छोड़ के 6-7 साल तक व्हेन यू वर ट्राइंग मल्टीपल थिंग्स, आपने शायद सैलरी भी नहीं लिया. यू हैव सेड.
See, I think so. I quit my job in 1990.
Okay.
And we raised venture capital in the year 2000. तो 10 साल थे बीच में. In those 10 years, for roughly 7 years, I did not take a salary.
Okay.
The company could not afford to pay me. So I used to teach on weekends at various business schools in and around Delhi to earn some pocket money. I used to, I had a couple of retainers.
Okay.
Where I advised a company.
Okay.
I was the consulting editor of the Pioneer newspaper for a while.
Okay.
Of the career supplement.
Okay.
So I was doing a couple of side gigs.
Right.
While we were trying to build Naukri.
Got it. So, those side gigs, were they like close to what you were earning while you were in the job? या फिर
they were close to what I was earning while I was in my job, but I left my job several years ago. If I had continued my job, they were nowhere close to what I would have been earning today.
Got it. So, sir, वही like I had, I just wanted to understand, of course, it may be comparing a carbon to a diamond, but I also left my well-paying job a year back. It's like tough sometimes to endure not having
It
a
is tough.
paycheck.
And especially since you were probably paid a lot more in your last job than I was in my last job. मेरी तनख्वाह थी 5,500 रुपये in 1990 when I quit my job.
Okay.
चक्कर क्या है कि जो फाउंडर की तनख्वाह होती है वो जीरो होती है.
Right.
That has not changed.
नेगेटिव भी हो जाती है, कभी कभी लगाना पड़ जाता है पैसा.
Right. So I was losing 5,500 rupees a month. And I don't know what your salary was in Google, but you're probably losing a few lakh rupees a month.
Yes.
Right. That's a bigger sacrifice.
Yeah. That is what I just wanted to understand कि like it's is it like the confidence कि कुछ सालों में मैं बना ही लूँगा या फिर
It's not confidence. It was कि मेरे को ये नौकरी नहीं करनी.
okay.
मैं तंग आ गया. मेरे को कुछ और करना है.
ठीक है. और वो फिर कुछ और में आपने 4-5 ही कर दिए चलते.
करना पड़ता है. You have to do what it takes to survive.
Right. This reminds me. There is this another reel that I had seen. क्या आप like राज शमानी को जानते हैं? Have you heard of him?
I met him once or twice, but I've not done a podcast with him now.
Okay. So he said he talked about you in one of his podcasts. I'll show you.
So I feel संजीव बिखचंदानी जिसने बहुत सही चीज़ करी
जी.
He got the pulse of India.
Correct.
इंडिया में पढ़ाई बहुत ज़रूरी है, नौकरी बहुत ज़रूरी है,
Correct.
और फिर शादी बहुत ज़रूरी है.
करेक्ट.
तीनों प्लेटफॉर्म पे खेल गए. एंड देन ही रियलाइज कि यार जब ये सब हो जाता है तो इंडिया को अब क्या चाहिए. इंडिया इज ऑब्सेस्ड विद सिक्योरिटी, तो उन्होंने इंश्योरेंस पे भी खेल गए.
पॉलिसी बाजार.
सो संजीव बिखचंदानी अंडरस्टूड द पल्स ऑफ इंडिया कि इंडिया से ऑब्सेस्ड 3-4 चीज़ों के लिए वहीं पे हर किसी का कंपनी बना दो.
So sir, like
Look, it was a planned strategy. It's not ऐसे कि हमने सोच समझ के किया है. It was by chance. There was a series of fortunate accidents.
okay.
तो कर लिया हमने.
Okay. But maybe it was a coincidence that जो भी आपका एनालिसिस होता होगा उससे कुछ ऐसा ही निकल के आता होगा जिसके अंदर.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
We launched Naukri because there was a particular insight. I used to observe my colleagues read Business India from the back and look at appointment ads first. I said appointment ads are right. High interest category of information.
Right.
हमने नौकरी कर दी.
Right.
नौकरी चल गई. Then we said which are the other classified categories in newspapers that are big.
Okay.
Either real estate and matrimony.
Okay.
That's how we went there.
Because you saw a similarity in the businesses that you were.
Yeah. So I said जो print में हो रहा है उसको कर दो internet पे, see what happens. ठीक है. And then Zomato and PolicyBazaar investments were because we had listed, we begun to invest, and we met teams, and we met these two teams, and we liked them. So it was not planned कि this will fit into our portfolio or anything. No, अच्छे लोग हैं, अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, good idea. Let's back it, see what happens.
Got it. सर जैसे जैसे ये कंपनीज ऐड होती गई राइट, नौकरी से जीवन साथी, 99 एकड़, शिक्षा. नाउ दैट यू आर टेलिंग कि ऑल हैज़ टू डू विद क्लासिफाइड्स, आई एम एबल टू सी कि देयर इज more similarity than it might seem like to an outsider, but earlier to an outsider it might seem कि थोड़े unrelated से businesses हैं. How did your day-to-day kind of schedule change after these additions?
Okay, first of all, we are a team, it's not one person, right? And Hitesh was head of marketing then he became CEO, now he's CEO. Right? So there's a team, and he has a team. And those teams have teams. सो जो 99 की टीम वो अलग है, जो जीवनसाथी की टीम वो अलग है, नौकरी की टीम अलग है. सो इट्स नॉट एज माई लाइफ चेंज बिकॉज वी लॉन्च दीज टू थिंग्स. ओके, माई लाइफ चेंज व्हेन वी वेंट पब्लिक.
ओके,
राइट, बिकॉज सडनली द होल न्यू सेट ऑफ रिस्पांसिबिलिटीज गॉट एडेड ऑन.
ओके, गॉट इट. बट सर लाइक आई अंडरस्टैंड कि इट मे नॉट हैव चेंज्ड दैट मच, बट अगर कुछ नया बना रहे हैं जीरो से, मतलब यू मस्ट हैव सम थिंग्स टू ऐड, सम थिंग्स टू काइंड ऑफ.
वेल वी स्टिल, लाइक आई सेड, वी गिव आइडियाज राइट टू द फाउंडर्स.
ओके.
एंड दे फिगर आउट करना नहीं करना.
ऑलराइट.
हम तो बात करते हैं, दैट्स इट.
ठीक है. और सर what changed, if you have to point out 3 biggest changes when after you went public, जो कि आप बता रहे हो?
First is the level of disclosure, scrutiny, care that you have to take. The willingness to accept accountability, that changes. The fact that your board is now a lot more serious and they are majority independents on the board.
Okay.
The 3 things that.
Okay, got it. So stressful हो जाता है कभी-कभी, all this?
हो तो जाता है, but it's okay. Over time you learn to deal with it.
Okay. How not to take it out on people around you? I think that must be a challenge.
I'm just not that kind of person.
Okay.
I like to work collaboratively with people.
Okay. Okay. All right. ठीक है. Coming while we are on the subject, sir, I think आप ये भी कहते हैं, which is of course common sense as well, कि a company can't become large, sustainable, well respected if you are bad at governance, right? आप उसके बारे में अगर कुछ बोलना चाहें.
देखिए, I think it's important to be very well governed, and governance begins and ends in the founder's head. एक बार ही आपने तय कर दिया कि I'll be well governed, okay. And that's about your values, your ethics, about growing up. You can't suddenly one day say I'll be well governed, right? You have to, from the beginning, want to be clean and honest and want a good reputation. Okay, for governance. And we were inspired by companies like Tata's, groups like Tata's, and by Infosys before us. That they have a reputation for good governance, and that's a good reputation to have. Okay. Because at the end of the day, your reputation is your only asset.
Okay.
Baaki sab is built on that.
Okay.
Now, so if you decide to be well governed, you will do the right things as you know best, and you will surround yourself with people who will guide you, because there may be things you do not know. Okay? So your investors help you, your independent directors on the board help you, your auditors help you, your internal processes and your internal teams help you. But you have to be willing to listen. If you're not willing to listen, there will be a problem.
Okay. So, sir, like आपसे जो बात करके मेरे को लग रहा है, you are saying that integrity or ethics is the most important thing to be good at governance.
That's the foundation.
Okay.
You can't be dishonest and say I'll be good at governance.
Right, because in my head it probably takes a lot more than that. Ki, if people are not doing what they're supposed to do, how do you make them do what they are supposed to do?
Because if it's an integrity issue where people are being dishonest, I think they should not be in the firm.
Okay. All right. Which brings me to that particular thing, ki, you don't let people go easily unless there is an integrity issue or some other misdemeanor.
We are reluctant to sack people, except for integrity ethics issues. Complaint by a female colleague about inappropriate behavior or something. We are reluctant to let go of people.
Sorry, sir, you have logged into?
We are reluctant.
Okay.
To let go of people because we feel that this company has been built by people.
Right.
We are a people's company. And अगर वो इसमें अच्छा नहीं कर रहा है, शायद वहाँ पे अच्छा कर लेगा. हमारे पास 5,500 लोग हैं, कई डिपार्टमेंट हैं, 6-8 बिजनेसेस हैं.
करेक्ट. सर, फिर इसके अंदर ये भी दिमाग में आता है ना कि एक कंपनी का कल्चर बिल्ड होता है बाय हैविंग सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ पीपल, बट अगर उसमें कुछ ऐसे लोग आ जाते हैं जो अंडर परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, and if you are not willing to let them go, then how do you deal with it?
No, you move them around into other businesses and other roles.
And more often than not, it somewhere works out or the other? It works somewhere.
Sometimes works out, sometimes doesn't work out.
Okay. कुछ ऐसा है कि which has highly, which has been highly impactful in a way कि you took a chance on somebody and then things turn around and.
No, we constantly take chances on people. I mean, in the beginning, let's say in the year 2000, 2001, when we just raised venture capital, we got in 8 to 10 senior people.
Okay.
From across industries, laterally. They all began to head functions or departments or businesses.
Right.
And at least 2 or 3 of them worked out. Are still with the company.
2 or 3 did not work out.
2 or 3 worked out. They're
Okay.
still with the company.
Okay. Right. सर, आप ये भी कहते हैं कि a good business idea often comes from an insight, right? कुछ ऐसा quirkiest और most surprising insight जो आपको भी लगा हो कि यार इससे भी बिजनेस बन सकता है and it actually worked out.
No, I mean, आप देखिए कि Zomato,
right,
जो उस समय फूडी में था.
right.
The insight was what? The insight was that menu cards are important.
Sorry, sir?
Menu cards are important. Menu cards.
Right, got it.
That is the insight.
Right.
Now, उस पे एक बिजनेस बना है, which is now Zomato. Okay. It may seem like a very simple thing. Menu card में क्या है? Okay. But actually, it's really important.
Got it. कोई ऐसे इनसाइट्स आपने रिसेंटली 1-2 साल में नोटिस किए हों दैट यू कैन शेयर कि मे बी इस पे बड़ा बिजनेस बन सकता है?
देखिए, when you start any company, very often it looks like a small opportunity, a narrow niche. Zomato was a small niche. Naukri was a small niche, right? Over time, niches have a habit of going mainstream and becoming big. Right? So we are okay investing in niches, which others may or may not be okay with.
Okay. So you think कि just because the TAM seems to be small doesn't mean
That's right.
it is small. जैसा कि I think
आज स्मॉल है, कल बड़ा हो जाएगा.
नौकरी में भी आई थिंक आपके साथ ऐसा कुछ हुआ था कि किसी ने कहा था कि 3-4 करोड़ का ही
हाँ, market
रह जाएगा. ऑलराइट. सर आप ये भी एक चीज़ कहते हैं कि इंटेग्रिटी के टॉपिक को कंटिन्यू करते हुए कि when there is a lot of money in the bank, people do funny things and you are very particular about.
So that's not integrity issues. That is investing it suboptimally. कि साहब आपने खर्चा कर दिया.
Okay.
अगर पैसे कम होते हो खर्चा नहीं करते आप.
Okay.
And then money may get wasted. As opposed to, I'm not saying that's an integrity issue.
ओके. बट इंटेग्रिटी वाला भी कहीं ना कहीं तो कुछ ना कुछ लोग करते ही होंगे कि पैसा घुमा दिया या फिर
कुछ लोग करते होंगे, but thankfully our founders are very few like that, very few. I mean, mostly not like that. Okay, see, ultimately most people are honest.
ओके.
चोरी नहीं करते. Now, if you go with that belief, you will meet honest people. If you go with the belief that most people are dishonest and have to keep policing,
ओके.
you will attract maybe dishonest people.
बट सर दिस सीम्स अ लिटिल बिट काउंटर इंट्यूटिव टू मी कि अगर हम बिलीव के साथ जाएंगे तो ऑनेस्टी मिलेंगे. बट
अगर if you don't believe your founders are honest, then don't invest here. Why would you invest behind people you believe are dishonest?
ओके. सर आफ्टर ऑल दिस राइट 30-40 years राइट, आज के दिन में आपका एक दिन कैसा जाता है एंड आफ्टर दैट एक वीक कैसा जाता है?
Well, there's no fixed schedule, but I go to office mostly, right?
Okay.
I'm full time in the company, and most of my day goes off in meeting startups or companies invested in,
Okay.
Or new startups.
All right.
Some of it goes in meeting media, government regulation, compliance,
Okay.
board.
All right. तो ऑफ कोर्स लाइक फिक्स नहीं है बट वीकली यही रहता
हर
है
रोज.
मोर और लेस. ऑलराइट. सर मैं जब आया था तो मैंने एक चीज़ नोटिस की थी इन दिस होम ऑफिस कि मेरे को लगता है यहाँ पे कम से कम शायद 1000 बुक्स तो होंगी.
I haven't counted, but काफ़ी बुक्स हैं.
तो आप अभी भी रेगुलरली बहुत पढ़ते हैं?
मैं एक्चुअली कम पढ़ता हूँ आजकल. I have got accustomed to reading on the small screen. Okay, but I do want to get back to reading at some point in time.
बट जब भी आप पढ़ते थे इतना क्वांटिटी देख के लगता है कि मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ते होंगे लाइक.
Like I said, मैं बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ता था.
राइट.
अब थोड़ा कम पढ़ता हूँ.
Right.
And I want to get back to it. A lot of the books belong to my children from their college days.
ओके. गॉट इट. सर एक और क्वेश्चन जो मेरे माइंड में आता है कि जब भी कोई स्टार्ट करता है जॉब छोड़ के, जैसा कि आपने बोला कि या तो जॉब में मन नहीं लग रहा था जैसे आपने अपने लिए बताया, बट अदरवाइज आई थिंक वन ऑफ द मेजर मोटिवेटर्स आई थिंक यू एग्री कि होता ही है कि एक लार्जर मनी मेकिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले.
So my advice
agree
to
with me?
people is don't become an entrepreneur because you want to make money.
ओके.
क्योंकि जब तक पैसे बनेंगे कम से कम 10, 12, 15 साल लग जाएंगे.
ओके.
During that period, there will be lots of ups and downs,
Right.
and your commitment will be tested. Okay, and then you may or may not stay. So you should become an entrepreneur if you want to. If the idea motivates you, if independence motivates you, if it's a larger mission in life, it's how you find meaning. Along the way, hopefully money will come, but you don't know how long it will take.
Okay. So after it has come, right? Like right now, if you'll agree with me, to you, like what now motivates to get up from the bed every day and take
So
these meetings?
I was never motivated by money, right? So if you're motivated by money, you won't go to office, right? But if you're motivated by something else, then you will continue to go to office every day.
Okay. Like are these some of the values that you have tried to kind of pass on to your like kids as well? Because one would assume कि यार इतने पैसे हैं तो what measures to take कि बच्चे बिगड़े नहीं.
Hey, देखो, first of all, you know, by the time we succeeded financially, the company, the children are already about 15 years old. So they had seen the tough times. So because they grew up seeing the tough times, they ended up being, somewhat frugal in their personal habits.
Okay. Got it. What are 3 pieces of advice that startup needs to hear today?
I think पहला तो होना चाहिए कि the customer's money is better than the investor's money.
Right.
Yeah. Because if you get the customer's money first and you get it repeatedly from the same customer, and you get it at a price that's higher than your cost, then chances are you have a viable business. Then you will survive and you will grow and you will prosper. Right? But on the other hand, if you get the investor's money first, you see, there's no guarantee you get the customer's money. Okay, because the investor's money will come if your PowerPoint is good. Okay. But the customer's money will come if your product is good.
Got it.
Right? So customer money more important than investor money, first thing. Second thing I'd say is that it's important that you are frugal at least early on. Till your investors made money, till other shareholders have made money, be frugal.
Okay.
Don't blow up company money.
Okay.
So the third thing I'd say is dream big but start small. Take smaller risks initially. Because if you start large, then if you fail, your failure will be large. If you start small, your failure will be small, you'll learn, you'll pick up, you'll proceed.
Got it. Sir, जो आप बोल रहे हैं कि be frugal until your investors have made the money and all.
Until shareholders.
Okay. ऐसे क्या आपको कुछ बहुत ही unnecessary expenses लगते हैं जो लोग generally कर लेते हैं once they get investors money?
People do. They overhire. They spend too much on advertising. They don't focus enough on sales calls and revenue. काफी कुछ होता है.
Okay.
Because they have the luxury of having a large amount of investor money in the bank.
Okay. Got it. Sir, अगर आप entrepreneur नहीं होते तो what do you think you would have been doing?
I enjoy teaching, so I would have probably been a teacher. I used to teach at business schools in and around Delhi. For the first 8 to 10 years of being an entrepreneur, because I had to have a side hustle because the company could not pay me a salary.
Okay.
And I really began to enjoy teaching.
Okay. क्या पढ़ाते थे सर business schools में?
Marketing mostly, sometimes communication.
Okay. Got it. Sir, like, what is, maybe, I know कि your motivation is not money, but still having it doesn't hurt, right?
Yeah, I mean, in the sense that I was very patient about money. He said, पैसा आएगा, जब आएगा देख लेंगे.
Okay.
And sure, when it's there, it's good.
But now that it is there, like, what is the one good thing that can be like a...
Well, I don't have a crazy lifestyle. I spend most of my time working. I do a fair bit of philanthropy. I'm one of the founders of Ashoka University.
Right.
We donate to multiple causes, right? Various NGOs. I get involved in the company's CSR program also.
Okay.
At least at the top level to figure out where the money is going and how these organizations are doing.
Okay.
So I think some of them are doing really good work.
Okay. Is there a bad thing also about having money?
It can be if you spend it badly.
Okay. But for you, like, you don't personally think there is anything?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Sometimes, maybe you get cut off from reality.
Okay. Okay.
Right? जब आप बस में नहीं travel करते हो, जब आप train में नहीं travel करते हो, you will perhaps lose touch with regular people.
Okay. Got it. But like, do you wish to be in touch with?
I think it gives you insights to market, consumers, customers.
Okay.
When you meet regular people.
Okay. Observation उन्हीं के lifestyle को देख के होता है because masses are there is what you.
That's what the market is.
Right. Got it. Sir, अभी I think one good thing that probably is about having money that you have access to a lot of great people in the country, right?
You don't need money for that.
But sir, फिर कैसे, how do you get access without money or without being in a position of power, let's say?
It's not about power. I mean, if you have something to contribute, people will reach out to you and call you.
Okay. My question was
So
that.
for example, I'm a member of the National Startup Advisory Council.
Okay.
Now, that's a useful thing because you get to give policy suggestions and ideas to the government. You advise the government on startup policy. But I'm called there not because I have money or I'm powerful. I'm called because I have experience. मैंने 20-30 साल लगाए हैं और कुछ आपको मालूम है, then people will call you for advice.
So forgive me for this if I'm wrong, but don't you think कि अगर 20-30 साल किसी और ने भी लगाए हों, but they are probably a failed entrepreneur जिन्होंने शायद पैसे नहीं बनाए, तो उनको तो नहीं बुलाते ना?
Depending on who the choices are, right? If there are others who are successful and good, they'll probably call them. Hey, there's proof of the pudding.
Right. My question to you was, sir, कि is there somebody that you'd like to have access to or meet that you right now are probably not in the position to?
Not particularly.
Not particularly. Is it like कि जिससे मिलना होता है किसी न किसी तरीके से हो जाता है या फिर ऐसा
I
कोई?
mean,
Yeah.
look, if you tell me go and meet the President of America, I can't meet him. Okay, but then I don't need to meet him.
Okay. All right. How would you want people to remember you?
मैंने सोचा नहीं इसके बारे में, but I think just people whom I know. It's not other people. People whom I know, who I've worked with, who are friends and family.
Right.
Right? They should think good things of me.
Okay. Good things, money, a man of his word, like things like that, or?
I guess honest, committed,
All right.
considerate, compassionate.
Right. So yeah, sir, it was rather a short podcast. It was all from my side. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving us your.
Thank you so much
Time.
for coming. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.